Influencers are everywhere. Stephen Curry, we have Selena Gomez, the Pope. However, perhaps the biggest influencer is no one singular person. Perhaps it is social media. When doing some research, I found that 80% of young adults today are chronically online. What prompted for me to do this research was a work event I was at recently. At my school, I give tours. I go to UCSC. I give tours to prospective and incoming students. We recently hired a few more tour guides, and at our orientation, we were asked to introduce ourselves, our year, our major, and what do we love. For me, my name is Eddie. I'm currently a third year studying information management, and I love martial arts and I love to talk to people. When hearing from my peers, I wasn't thrown off, but I was a little bit surprised. I heard from not just one person, but from multiple people, sort of a trend. I heard, hello, my name is John. I'm a second year, and I love to doom scroll. Hello, my name is Anthony, and I love to doom scroll. Hello, my name is Mario, and I love to doom scroll. I heard it not once, but 3 times amongst the, I think, 7 of us that were there. So a majority of us were saying that, or a majority of the members were saying that doom scrolling was a habit. So it prompted for me to do some research because it seemed a little bit backwards. When I think of the word love, I think of something that uplifts you. I think of something that is good for you, something that loves you back. But when I look at doom scrolling, for anybody who doesn't know what this is looking at your phone for an extensive amount of time and just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and doing only that. When I look at doom scrolling, I don't necessarily see that as something that is loving. So it prompted for me to do some research. And today, you're going to hear about what I found through this research. I'm going to tell you about some of the positives of social media, some of the negatives of social media, as well as kind of a guide on how to navigate such a digital world. To start with the positives, 1, social media is informative by nature. When you're going online, you can easily find information, more so than ever before. So if you are careful and intentional, it can be very informative. 2, if you like to build things, if you are a creator, social media can now be used as a creative outlet. You can see not tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not just millions. You literally have access to billions of eyes by creating content through social media. So if you like to build things, there has never been an easier time to reach people. And lastly, through social media, you can make connections that you wouldn't have been able to make before. As an example, in high school, I used to lead this Bible study, and it was online. It was a virtual Bible study. So that meant that people from a variety of places were joining. Well, in my junior year, when I went to go visit colleges, one of the places I went to visit was New York. And I happened to have a buddy who lived in New York from this Bible study. So we actually got to meet up. We got to train jujitsu together. And then we went to the gym together, and we had a fantastic time. But this is an experience that I would have never have gotten before if social media wasn't a thing. So social media is great for informing us. It's great if you're a creator and you'd like to share that. It's great for building connections. But to take sort of a slant and to go in a different direction, I want to talk about the negatives of social media. 1, social media is addictive by nature. It gives you instant gratification and instant dopamine. It's really kind of sort of set up like this. When you look at the behind the scenes, there's something called an algorithm. And this algorithm learns from what you watch. It sees what you previously watched. It then uses that information to figure out what you would want to watch next. And it gives you that recommendation, making it a lot easier for this doom scroll effect to really happen. So it's addictive by nature. And I almost compare it to when the tobacco companies were messing with the crops to put more nicotine into the tobacco to keep people addicted. It's sort of a similar sentiment here. Two, another negative slash downside of social media is that anyone can be an influencer. What this means is that false information can be shared very quickly to a lot of people. The fact that I gave in the beginning of this, that 80% of young adults are chronically online, I said that to prove a point. That actually, I don't know if that's true. That's not true. I made that up. But the reason I made that up is not because I'm some impulsive liar. It's because in the same way that I just made it up to you, somebody online can say something with confidence and be telling a lie. So it is really up to you to be wary about what you are listening to and what you are watching. The last downside of social media is that it's just a little bit unrealistic sometimes. When I'm online, I'm constantly being told that if I'm not 20 years old with $1 million in my bank account, I'm behind. And I'm constantly being shown all these kind of bigger or lavish lives that other people are living. It almost prompts some type of comparison in me. However, how can I be behind or ahead compared to somebody else if like we're not even on the same path? We literally have completely different paths. What is this notion of behind and ahead? To me, it doesn't really make sense. So that's kind of what I think about it. But it's just a little bit unrealistic when I look at what's actually going on online. And to navigate all this, I have 3 tips. 1, be present. I'm going to actually share my screen really quick. I know I'm slightly over the time, but this is very important. It says, exhaustion is the result when I use my energy in mulling over the past with regret, or in trying to figure out ways to escape a future that has yet to arrive. Projecting an image of the future and anxiously hovering over it for fear that it will or won't come uses all of my energy and leaves me unable to live today. Yet, living today is the only way to live life. Be present. Live in the moment. Don't focus on future. Don't focus on the past. It's really important to focus on right now. Second, live a cool life. What you're working on, you should be really excited to talk about it. In terms of your work, in terms of what you're doing outside of work, by living a cool life, this doesn't necessarily mean to like make the most money or to get the most nice car. Cool is very subjective. What it means to you is different based off of everybody. But by living a life that you are passionate about, this is one way that you can kind of escape this like digital world that is constantly maybe giving pressure. And lastly, I think that a good rule of thumb is to create more than you consume. So to have your own original ideas more than you are letting external ideas influence you. Lastly, I want to share my screen one more time before I finalize this. But if we look at this figure that I made, this is kind of a good estimate of our time. You spend like maybe 8 hours of the day sleeping. You spend 8 hours of the day working. Then you have 8 open hours. Just 1 hour on my phone, one of these ticks on the top is gone. 2 hours, 2 of them is gone. If I spend 4 hours on my phone, that means I only have pink, red, yellow, and orange available for the rest of my day. So like while social media is negative, it also has all these positives. It's not necessarily social media that is bad. It is really more so our overconsumption of this social media that makes it bad. So I want to show one more picture, and I want to end it with a little poem that I wrote. And this kind of inspired this speech. This is from a movie called They Live, for anybody who has ever seen it. But I want to say this is a poem. Do not walk to the slaughter. Do not be a sheep. Wake up! Do not fall asleep. Thank you, and back to you.